Okay? Fuck me. Bruh. Eh? Alright. Yeah, camera always. I don't know, every time I tap it, it shakes. But either way, welcome back, you perspective denying pussies. Haha, this is actually contextually relevant because, as we know, beginners, what is the one thing they're scared of most when it comes to art? Perspective, right? Because it makes their brain work. But as you can see, even I, the god of perspective, makes many mistakes. This is diverging. This is diverging. This is diverging. This is diverging. There's some fuck ups here. Blah blah blah. But anyways, this entire thing is gonna be boxes. What are we doing? Box stacking. So this is gonna be box stacking. I'm really gonna focus on the overall perspective. So I'm not focused on the actual line I'm making, but the actual vanishing point horizon line, right? This could have been a 3 point perspective, but I mean, technically it is, but I didn't emphasize that as much. And I need to think ahead when it comes to stacking the boxes as well. I actually wanted to talk about the fact that beginner artists, oh man, they're so scared to touch perspective, but it's literally the foundation of creating something realistically representational on paper, right? So please stop being scared of drawing boxes. It is very difficult, and I will have you know that I spent 9 months. This is just me. You don't have to spend that long, right? But it really did hone my intuition. But yeah, I spent 9 months doing box and cylinder clusters. It's actually crazy looking back now that from April 2023 to May 2024, that's literally all I did in terms of my primary practice. It's actually insane to me, but hey, it helped, and it made me think a lot, which is why this is so intuitive now, right? So you don't have to go to the extent I did, but at the same time, you do need to really hone your perspective skills. So stop being a little bitch and actually do the work and use your brain and be uncomfortable. With that being said, I'm going to take my own advice and do the same. So thinking ahead is huge, right? So I should think, first of all, well, why don't we have the horizon line somewhere like this, right? So I want to stack boxes, right? And I know, again, Broken Draw, the perspective he used were very similar to this, but I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking in terms of just honing my perspective skills and stacking the boxes, right? At the end of the day, those changing it and making a difficult perspective can actually be beneficial. So why don't I try something? And here the big thing is I'm really trying to think ahead of the box stackings as well as the perspective, right? So okay, let's have this be the first box that I officially make. It's obviously a mistake. That's a mistake as well. This should have been more like this. See, but when you do this sort of perspective, the intent is that you have to think really hard, right? Because I just slightly shifted it. Horizon line was here, now I made it somewhere here, right? We went from something, can you see? Yeah, you can see, yeah, we went from horizon line that's just straight horizontal to now we went from this to this. And just that requires a good amount of thought, which is good because we want to think. We want to push our brains to, to be on its limits, right? To be honest. TBH. See, now you can sort of force the convergence too, because this is far away enough from this line and these lines that you can just slightly make it, well, in this case it's a bit more drastic, but we can force the convergence. Like how this is relatively straight. I sort of fucked it up here, but I'm still following relatively this. And actually, because I haven't even established how far this goes, we can just keep going with this one. And see, we have some more boxes being stacked on top of each other. Although it should make it a bit easier to understand, I guess, right? So we could have something like, and then see, I messed that up too, but that's good because it's what keeps you sharp. And I'm really thinking about the perspective here. Okay, I'm gonna take a little mental break. On my back, drink some water. Fuck, man, I really hope 5-10 years from now, while I'm still doing this, my back problems, I'm not just getting worse and worse. I thought stretching was supposed to help this shit. What in the absolute hell? One thing I always try to keep in mind is the fact that it's really important not to lose sight of the big picture, which in my case is perspective, right? for, don't lose the forest for the trees, that type of shit. Because I have to keep in mind that there's still a general perspective. Like, see, I messed that up. Like, yeah, I see I messed that up. But that's okay. Because now I'm going to converge it really sharply. And we're going to do some more things. Like, let's see. We can have... Yeah, see, I messed that up too. This is a very difficult skill. Like, this line's also a bit messed up. But that's the thing. That's what I meant by not losing the forest for the trees, because it's easy to say, but it's difficult to do when the more objects you have in the scene, right? Very easy to say, but very taxing on the mind. I can understand. Fuck, what the fuck? My fingers just spazzed out. I can see why, and I completely understand why beginners are averse to doing this. This is literally the most important thing you can do when it comes to building your skills in representational art, I guess let's call it, right? Again, I'm not an authority, but I am better than you. There you go. That gives me that there retention. Oh fuck, see? So this, we can say it's kind of hanging off. So if we make it more even, we can make this hang off too. There you go. Trying to get a 3-point perspective in. It's not just stacking boxes I'm thinking of. We can even just have some boxes Chilean, as they say, right? That's what my generation says. Or at least my sister said it once, and that was enough for me. And I think this is kind of what goes into curvilinear perspective as well. When you start curving it a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna cut it off there because this has to be all cylinders. Maybe I made this a bit too long, but it's okay. There you go. I just wanted to have a bit of variety in the type of boxes I was making. Like, same here. Right? We want to visualize, but also a little bit of variety. This is the perfect opportunity to start converging. Again, I don't know if this is perfect or correct, I guess, right? But it is an attempt, and it is my attempt. See, now I'm realizing that maybe these lines weren't the most accurate, but I'm trying my best. And as I always say, that's literally all that matters. What else can you do but try your best, right? That's the thing with perspective, is the fact that it's really easy to lose sight of it, as I am now, right? There's a lot of tiny mistakes that I've made. Lots of them. I think every single line has had at least one mistake. See, that one right here. That's not converging with this. Or that's not following in line. This isn't. They're completely different. But that's what it is. That's just something you have to accept, right? Oh shit, see, I fucked that up too. I got a bit carried away. And this is what is identifying the issues in my perspective, which is good. We want to be able to identify these issues. And I guess we'll just make this a compact. See? Not incredible, not anything revolutionary, but it is an attempt, right? And that's all that matters. Even if we try something smaller like this, right? Lots of really tiny errors is the thing. But I did, in essence, try to stack boxes on top of each other, right? But it's a bit awkward. What you're gonna do, we drink some more water. God damn it. The saga of the cap that is always being dropped. Fuck. I just finished rewatching again for the fourth time. Dragon Ball Z Abridged. So fucking good, bro. It actually fucking pisses me off that the main voice actors aren't in support of it. But then again, they're all dipshits. Sean Schemmel, Chris Sabat, a lot of them have proved themselves to be complete cunts. So, love the work they've done. I don't really respect the person, let's be honest. I respect the work they've done, but they act like immature children on social media, or they have multiple times, and they've been very rude and disrespectful to fans. And they shat on Dragon Ball Z Abridged, even though it's a complete passion project with so much love. So, I'm sorry, but your head is too far up your own ass. You let your fucking voice acting fame get the better of you, when you were one of the people who helped bring voice acting, especially in anime, out to the fucking mainstream. So I don't know why they're literally not supporting a project such as Dragon Ball Z Abridged, where they're all voice actors who started out like them, essentially, right, doing small projects. Fucking idiots. But great abridged, and obviously I love the original Dragon Ball too. But I love Abridged so much, and I've watched it so much, bro, that it literally ended up becoming canon for me. It's so fucking good. Obviously, nothing replaces the original Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, but Abridged is just fucking amazing. But basically the ending song, when Gohan versus Cell, right? Like my power, oh, that shit, my perfect pitch vocals. I'm sure the incredible representation of it. Okay, let's do something different. Let's do The horizon line is down here now, right? So where would that be? So that would be here. But then this would have to be further out, because we're trying to make it an imbalanced box that's being stacked. Okay. Feels good. I used to struggle a lot with this perspective, and to think that it is now something that I can do, maybe not perfectly or to any degree of excellence. Excellence. I'm still doing it, which I'm proud of. Like, I'm doing it, Danny. There we go. And why don't we have another? This one we can have literally just stacked. How should we have it stacked? Well, I did put that line there, so we could just do something like this. Right. Okay. Okay, well, how badly do I want this to converge is the question. Because right now it's pretty even, which is nice, but let's throw something else into that mix. Why don't we? Like something like this. And I'm not gonna go past this. Like, this is all for the ellipses. So honestly, I should have started building up this way. So I'm gonna leave this as this. This will be the lowest it goes, because I really need the spaces here for the ellipses. And ellipse stacking is also, or cylinder stacking. Oh, but that's different. The cylinder stacking is, it's a different type of stacking. That's almost like a snake sort of pattern. So I can actually make it go around and shit. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. I'm trying to think. Okay. That's off. I'm very well aware that's off. So don't tell me, please. Just refrain from telling me. Okay. But that's actually pretty off too. Is it? Yeah, it's kind of is. Okay. I love doing those lines. They're so difficult. Alright, we can do something like this. Let's start making these stacks a bit more wonky. That's inaccurate. But now we can start converging. Yay! Converging. Woohoo! Look at that. Just with one box, you can start converging, which is great. Something like here. So it should be roughly like that. And I saw that, which is awesome. In my mind. Ho ho ho. But that's too many, I think these are too many big boxes. So we need to keep in mind that smaller boxes can and will exist. So we can make this a container and put a couple smaller boxes in there. There you go. See? Ta-da! I guess. Okay. I do want to make this more interesting, so why don't we... There you go. And let's say right in this space we have, right, if it's like right there, this box. Okay. And I would like to show that it's diverging more. So maybe... Well, then again, nothing's really stacking anymore. Actually, perhaps... like so. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, I murmur a lot. I fucked that line up because I was thinking about something else, which you shouldn't be doing if you're trying to draw, let's be honest. You should do your best to really only focus on the drawing, right? There you go. We can make this short and stout. And really turn up the convergence. Wait, let me check my recording. Last time it just randomly fucking shat itself. So, okay, it's good for the time being. Oh, there's issues here. But, I mean, to be honest. Also, I noticed it's funny watching the speed up of my videos when I'm editing it. But yeah, like, this happens a lot. It's like, it's just shifting all over the place. But... okay, I think that's okay. And we can even have something like This time do it properly, hopefully. Or more properly. Right? I guess. This is good. It really makes me think about not only the perspective, but also where this should lead to. Like the spacing in of itself. Fits right there. Right there, roughly. Cool. Good to think about the box. Like the full box where it is. Right? So some things are still off, of course, but we can cover that up with just more bullshit. Actually, why don't we do... the top, and then... yeah. Ooh, that was a difficult line to do. Oh wait, I know what's missing here. There you go. I was like, wait, why does that look off? And this looks off just because of this. That mistake makes it look like it's curving inwards. But let's just do this. There you go. Let's do that to all these boxes, or a lot of them actually. It'll add some interesting visual interest. And after that, I'll take another break. 34 minutes. So now what I'm gonna do is my little trick is I'm gonna draw over here, so I can get my fucking top right. Thumbnail shit. There you go. And maybe this one can be like this, yeah. Would that be interesting? Actually... yeah. I don't think this is too bad. It's converging. I'm doing my best to try to get that that across. But again, that line was way too thick. Oh wait, and that's also inaccurate because this would have been like that. There you go. That would have been the ceiling. Okay, that's a mistake. We can identify that as a mistake right now. But I'm gonna leave this as is. As you can see, it's still very difficult for me to yeah, it's very difficult for me to do this. But it's really good practice, so I'm gonna let my brain rest again. I can't tell if I've gotten better when it comes to this, but maybe I have. to be honest. Okay, well, wow, that was a really long space and effect break. But yeah, that cracking noise, by the way, were my knuckles, in case you still remember that shit. But all right, cool. I mean, there's definitely errors for sure, right? And there's the biggest things are the lines, right? Which is why this is a whole line practice, primarily, right? So my lines are wonky, therefore the boxes look wonky, right? But I'm doing my best, and I'll continue to do my best. And honestly, I think I have gotten better overall. And I was doing my best to focus on the convergence. There were points where I lost it. I'm not gonna lie, there were points where I lost it, but I tried to bring it back as much as possible, especially here and here. So now, with that being said, we are now going to get my beautiful top right thumbnail drawing. So this is cylinder stacking, and from what I understand, he basically said it was something like this. Right, so let's say you have a cylinder. Let me start from here, and I have to hold the paper because it's gonna keep shaking otherwise. Let's say you have a cylinder, and I believe this is mainly practice for bent cylinders, right? Did I add bending box in cylinders? I did. Nice. Let's say you have a cylinder and it's going like that. Now the next step is to stack. You put another cylinder, but just with a little space in between, right? This is really going to build your ability to draw only the partial shape, and keeping it and still doing it with a good connection. This is something I struggled with for a long time. This is actually something I'm slowly, especially recently, I've been getting a lot better at because I'm putting more effort into it. But it's something like this, essentially, right? Where you're just stacking these cylinders on top of each other. And obviously you can change the perspective if you'd like. And as you change the perspective, you keep in mind that things get back to getting bigger. Something like that. So that's my understanding of the way Broken Draws approaches this. Actually, I did a mess up here because I meant to continue this, but it's okay. We will simply pretend that we are continuing it. Genius. Right, and this is also really good practice for just bending cylinders in general, to be honest. I would say it's really good practice for bending cylinders in general. But yeah, mainly this will help your perspective for sure. and also turning these cylinders, right? Now what I'm doing might seem a bit confusing, and to be honest, I don't blame you, but I'm basically just trying to really think about the perspective and bring it back again. Really, actually, fucking really cathartic exercise while maintaining a level of fun to it that you don't expect from pee pee poo poo. How do I want this to go? Let's make it go up here. So now this is getting bigger again because we're entering the fray, right? But the thing is, to do this, I would honestly just recommend a more simple version, and I'll do the simple version underneath afterwards. But it is a great exercise to building your spatial reasoning and depth as well, right? With these, and to be honest, I could have added more depth here as well, but I was really focusing on the horizon line and just getting a consistent vanishing point in my mind and following through on it, right? When we look at this now, obviously, again, there's a lot of issues. Like even when you switch the perspective, there's a lot of issues. But for this particular exercise, I think it would be a really great way to not only practice essentially cutting your forms, right? Imagining, and then but also imagining how they would turn in space, right? Specifically with cylinders, because this is a great way to practice organic forms, right? This is essentially just a really cut up snake, you could even say, right? Or snake-like form, a worm-like form, a whip-like form, you know? So that's all stuff. That's really good. But I don't know where I want to go with this, so maybe I could make it... Okay, it's still recording, which is good. Make it turn like so. Yeah, make it turn like so. And then maybe I could have it get nice and big over here. This is relatively what I had in mind, which I'm very happy that I managed to do it. And again, if I actually thicken this line, and thicken this line, right? Now it is more in the foreground, purely because it's closer to us. And then if I thicken this line, this is also in the foreground. I think. I have to preface that it's what I think, because I'm clearly not an expert and fucking clearly shite at thickening my lines. My girlfriend is on the episode where I was like, no, I shouldn't be mean to myself. Bereaved mindset. And then she was like, it's funny. And then I told her she's funny. I also told her to kill herself. But you know, that's also funny. So there you go. Right? It's like same with this. This is thicker, this is slightly thicker. Whatever, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Okay. So then this. Lots of converge, a thicker end over there. And we can just end it off with this, right? It's still difficult. You have to think things through. And obviously I made this a bit too thick. I'm still figuring it out, and my lines aren't most confident. But the most important thing for me was visualizing it all, which I think I did an okay job of. Right? Actually, I did visualize this pretty decently. This was actually I didn't visualize as well, so that's where my mistake was. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's basically, I guess, a more complicated cylinder stacking. Let me just let me just rest my brain for a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that DBZA, Dragon Ball Z Bridge song really is stuck in my head. I think that was the primary way Broken Jaw went about his cylinder stacking, but I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I cannot recall. I really hope this shit doesn't stop again at the 49-minute mark, because that's what happened yesterday. It's about to happen right now. And we're good, seemingly. I don't know why that happened. It just, the screen turned gray and then it cut off. Thankfully, I didn't lose anything because I already edited the video and I'm about to schedule it for the coming Thursday, which is February. What is today? What the fuck is today's date? Let me check. February 11th. So that will be for February 13th. Yeah, that's the video. That will be Twisting Boxes Part 3. But yeah. So yeah, I literally have like a fucking 2-3 video backlog nowadays. I did all that fucking ahead time, but even I'm going on a little Valentine's Day trip, family day trip, whatever you want to call it, for this weekend. So I'm gonna have to record enough videos. It might be a bit of a scramble on the way back. But honestly, why don't I just do this? Actually, no. Well, now that we got this little section here, maybe I should just keep going because, okay, let me think. I think, well, the cylinder stacking is pretty simple in essence. If I just show what that means, right? So let's say you got a cylinder. I'm explaining it to me as well as to you. So we have a cylinder which is going in this direction, let's say, right? I think the stacking that he did in his video, and I may have to double check, I'm pretty sure it was this, but it's essentially just don't continue it, but have another cylinder in roughly the same perspective, right? And again, this is a really good practice in keeping it consistent. You can see I made a mistake there, so I just slightly fixed it, and maybe just slightly turn it, right? Just slightly. So you could have something like that. You know, and this gets you in the practice of thinking about rotating your forms. My line got a bit messed up there, but that's okay. Right, so just slightly turn it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but this makes you think about how we went from drawing just normal cylinders in a 3D space and all in the sharing the same perspective to now how would they look if parts of them were turned into a different direction, right? And I think that's the whole point. Now you can see it's gone all the way around, and we can also conceptualize, and we can start focusing on relative size based on distance. We know this is closer. We can very confidently say that this shape is closer. And why is that? Because not only is it bigger, we are facing the front of it. This shape, as we're following the contour, is getting smaller, and it's turning away from us. How do we know it's turning away from us? Because we're gonna make it turn away from us, right? We're just slowly bending it. And again, really to account for the bend, so the back end looks correct, this is the way Antonio explains it. By the way, mine isn't perfect either, let it be known, but it looks just decent and believable enough, right? But how do we know that how to account for the turn, right? Because really, they're just, every single line, as a concept, let me explain, every single line is just accompanied by infinite amounts of cylinders following that line, right? So we have this one here, and then we literally just right behind it, we have another one. And then right behind it, we have another one, but oh, that's slightly turned because we're following this line now. And then right behind it, we have another one, and that one's also slightly turned because it's following this one now. And then this one's also slightly turned because it's following this one. And it just goes on forever. And our biggest, and so when you start thinking along those lines, you realize, okay, well, I'm just slowly turning the contour. And trust me, this is very, very, very difficult in the beginning. I've done hundreds of bent cylinders. I mean, not 100. I've probably done over 100 bent cylinders before it started making sense to me, right? And you also need to give your brain time to figure it out on its own as well. But if now following that logic, because the whole thing is just, if this line is accompanied by cylinders that are like this, right? And this is going to be a very rough example. And this line will be accompanied by cylinders that are like this, right? And they're just, the back end is just getting slowly bigger. I probably should have made that clear here, but like, we know that the back end of a cylinder has what is it called? A wider convergence? No, what the fuck am I trying to say? It's just a wider curve, right? It's a wider ellipse than the front end. We see more of the back end than the front end because the back end is converging more, right, than the front end, like so. Same thing here. This front end is going like this. This back end is also converging. It's basically a bent box, right? We basically have a bent box like that versus just a normal box fitting in a cylinder. I know this may be confusing, and I'm probably explaining it in 50 different ways, but that is how I internalize it, as well as how Antonio explains it as well. It's all pretty helpful, I'll be honest, but that's the general idea. And then we can completely shake this on its head if you're advanced enough and do something like let's say we want to bring this just forward, right? So let's say this is what I want to do. I want to connect these two. So that would be something, let me try, like that. Right, now it's closer. Now we know this back end is, this is really how I think about foreshortening, is just the distance, the space relative, and then the convergence. Because really, what is foreshortening? Here we have, it's all just convergence, right? This box is quote unquote foreshortened. This box is not. It's literally just like 2 millimeters of difference, right? In terms of slightly going more narrow towards each other, versus these are just quote unquote infinitely parallel. Same thing here. This is converging. It's converging. right? Versus this is not. This is literally just chilling. This one, it's twisting, converging, and getting smaller. Maybe I didn't illustrate the example well enough, but actually I explained it to my well pretty. Explained it to my well. Explained it to myself pretty well. So on that note, let's do some normal cylinder stacking. Like so. Actually, wait. This is the queuing. Never mind. I probably shouldn't do this then. Well, we already started, so why don't we just do something really interesting and sort of turn it. That's actually not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do something like, let's say, something like, see, it's good because I'm also really thinking as well. So let's say I was like, oh, I'm not trying to really make it go down. I want to actually turn it and have the other plane be like this. What I was trying to do is maybe something more like this. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to do. And then that would lead me towards doing anything else that I wanted. Like so. But again, as you can see, I'm not doing it perfectly. Really, I'm just doing it believably enough. Right? This is actually like, this can be a lot better, which is good because it's reflective of my lines, not my reflective of my lines, my visualization, which is good because you always want to be able to see more than you can do, no matter how frustrating it is. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know exactly how much I bitch. So trust me, I understand the frustration. But I've really just doing my best to embody the mindset that the frustration is what you need to grow. See, like this is difficult. Now this is going to be an extreme foreshortening. So how do we make this look organic? Is it just this? Let's find out. Maybe. That looks pretty reasonable to me. Okay. Well, let me just finish this. Already a minute left. Well, it's good. Tomorrow I can actually continue. Oh, not tomorrow. The day after tomorrow I can continue just doing these stack cylinders. I actually didn't even mean to keep it in this view. Next time I'll continue this way. Yeah, next time I'll continue this way. And that'll be fun as well. And I'll also highlight these. I don't fucking know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have another page to use as a corner anyways, so. But I think this will definitely be a nice, enticing thumbnail. At least it looks interesting to me, so, you know, I am my own audience after all. They always say for YouTube, make the videos you want to watch, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just make videos I would want to watch. To be honest, I would not watch my own videos, but I would appreciate the existence of my own videos, which is equally as important to me. See, now that ended up being pretty wonky, so I'll leave it at that, right? Not everything is perfect. My lines did get a bit shoddy at the end, but I'm doing my best, and I'm focusing as much as I can. So I think this was pretty productive. I mean, I'm still in the process of visualizing and thinking things through, but slowly but surely, I do believe I'm getting better. So that's some good shit. And on that note, oh god, I need a fucking new saying, bro. My back is hurting. All that sitting, all I do in my fucking job is sit. I get 2 hours on the goddamn gym, which I love. Today was deadlift day. I did 315 for my top set. It's 531, so this was my first week, right? The lightest week, but not bad. 315 for 5, pretty good. I'm a pretty light guy as well. Unfortunately, I have very hollow bones, but that is life. I didn't eat well as a teenager. Let it be known, if you are a teenager, please eat as much meat and protein as as you can. Right? Eggs, milk, all the beef. No, it's not gonna give you a heart attack unless you have other poor habits and consume lots of sugar and processed foods. You should be fine. So, I am a doctor. Please take my health advice seriously. Look at my forearms. Look at my skinny. Ah, fuck, my forearms actually look really skinny. Fuck. Never mind. If I should just show my biceps instead. Actually, what does it look like, bro? Wow, it really looks skinny in the camera angle. It does not look like that in real life. What the fuck? I actually look like a substance in real life. Probably should work my forearms out more though. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely should work them out more. I'm gonna Google some exercises. Nobody's watching these videos. That's all good. Nobody's gonna know that have been slacking in my forearm gains. I should just flex on camera. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Please, no. What is it? I don't want to make it as always. Keep drawing and please give me money. But that's so catchy. I guess that's my outro. Vicky says, as always, keep drawing and please give me money.